Falcon Nation, voice of the Falcons, Mike Ricker, back here putting a wrap on Women's Basketball Media Day. Joining me now, head coach Monica Spence. Coach Spence, third year as head coach.
Third year as.
Fourth year as a Falcon.
Yes.
How have you grown over the last 3-4 seasons as a coach?
I will say disciplining them with love and also just staying super organized.
Yeah, and that gets, so if anyone's watching the interview before us with Desi, we asked her to say some nice things with you. So what you're doing obviously is working, being a role model for your players, and setting the right example for them as they grow as women. So, what you've shown and grown obviously is working with the responses that we get from your players and stuff too. So how about X's and O's? What's the style of play are we going to look at this year?
I'm definitely, and I always tell my girls this, I'm a transition coach. I love to score the ball on transition. Okay. So, transition offense and getting back on defense.
Getting back on defense and stuff too. So you have a larger roster this year. So do you look, since you like to play up and down the floor, do you look to play more girls and try to get some kind of rhythm as far as substitutions and things like that?
Absolutely. I love running baseline to baseline. So we have a big roster where I could sub them in and out if they ever get tired.
That's the one key to having a large roster and stuff like that. Talk about some of your returners. So at the junior college level, you really don't have them for a long time, but you do have a handful of second-year players.
Right.
Talk about a little bit. We mentioned Desi. We talked to Jayla. Who else is going to contribute to those second-year group?
So one thing I would love to say for sure is I have a group of what I will say loyal players, and I love having that. Honestly, I have Desi, I have Jayla, I have Salote, I have Soraya,
right.
The Franklin sisters. I have Eternity, Diamond. And Samaje.
Right.
It's so nice to have them all back.
Yeah. Does that make it easier for you as a coach having that group back to help you, let them say, this is the standard of women's basketball at Lackawanna. This is what what you have to do pre-practice, during games and things like that. Does that help you as a coach?
Absolutely. I feel like they know me so well, so they know when it's time to turn it down because I'm too locked in.
And how about, we know you work in admissions, so you're always out on the trail recruiting students anyway to Lackawanna. Talk about the girls that you recruited into Lackawanna this year, to join in the squad. Is there a couple girls that might crack the starting lineup, get into the rotation and play a little bit?
Absolutely. I brought in 10 freshmen this year, and every single one of them are most likely going to touch the floor this year.
Awesome. Which is important because having those 10 back makes the program just keep being successful year after year after year. You have one scrimmage under your belt as we're talking now. Yes. That was last evening. What did you get out of that scrimmage?
What I got out of it is how to execute our defense a little more. Okay. We just need to work on some of those pieces, and then once they're all put together, I think we're going to be fine.
And then you're at Jamboree this upcoming weekend. We don't know when this is interviewing, before or after, probably after, but, what are your expectations, heading into this weekend with a couple games against some really high quality opponents?
One of my key components with them is what I keep talking about is please don't foul, because the way the Jamboree works is if you foul, they get a point for it. Okay. So I don't want the fouling to hurt us when we're doing everything we're supposed to do on the floor besides that.
Besides win and losses, now I told you I wouldn't hit any hard-hitting questions, but this probably could be an easy one. Besides wins and losses, what is your expectation out of your team this year?
To stay together like a family.
Yeah, and that's always hard to do, especially, me being a basketball player in the past, you being a basketball player in the past, me having boys that have a basketball player, there's only one ball and 5 spots on the floor. So keeping them together as a family is a challenge, for anything, especially, at the basketball level and stuff too. So
absolutely.
All right, you could be unnervous because we're done.
Okay, we are done. Go Lackawanna Falcons.
Coach Spence, head coach of women's basketball. Catch you at the Student Union, LackawannaFalcons.com/live. We got to do post-game interviews with Ferg and Steve after your games. We should do that.
Please, I really want to.
Ferg is watching this now because he has to put it on the internet, and hopefully everyone else is watching, so we can pressure Ferg and saying, let's do some post-game interviews.
Let's go, Ferguson. Let's go.
Especially after wins. All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Let's go.